education. Then, I went to in the proper time, moved that not only do we approve the NEP proposal of DBM, but to approve the DepEd OSEC wish list of 59 billion. And also the attached agencies, NBDB, I see Clink here. Clinkang, where are you? There. We need 289 million for the NBDB. Then the National Council for Children's Television. Where is Miss Atienza? You're there. 132 million only. And then Jeremy Barnes is here. My good friend, the National Museum of the Philippines, because they're going to open a branch museum in Cagayan de Oro under my law.
Kasi nangihingi nga rin po ako ng copy noon, hindi rin po ako nabigyan. Kasi konti lang talaga para dun lang sa mga estudyante na umatendong reading session.
So, Madam Chair, okay, thank you. Just to clarify po, no, so no public funds were used in the production of the book. It was not come under any line item, and therefore did not also go through any of the quality assurance and accreditation required under the DepEd. None of that po.
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, my next question po, I'm not sure which USEC would be appropriate, but I'd like to ask about our learning tools and equipment program, Madam Chair.
It's still USEC Gonong, Congressman Gutierrez.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. Madam Chair, I'd just like to ask, what steps are being implemented to improve the planning and
Una pong step na ginagawa namin ay yung early procurement activity. So, starting this year, nagpe-prepare na po kami para sa early procurement activities ng ating mga learning tools and equipment.
Okay. Thank you. So on the learning tools and equipment program specifically, why did the LTE program have such low obligation and disbursement rates? And I believe it's respectively 40.9% and 10.98% between 2021 and 2023. I understand the good secretary has just assumed the position, but we are hoping that the undersecretaries would perhaps have some institutional memory of these past budget years po, no?
Madam Chair, usually po yan ay dahil sa mga failed procurement po natin, failed biddings po natin.
Okay. Madam Chair, I had further line of understand 30 seconds po ba yan? Okay. Last question po siguro just to sum it up. Are there specific challenges or barriers that the DepEd faces in implementing the LTE program, and how can Congress help in this case? I understand procurement is a problem for any agency, but this one seems particularly troublesome po, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, so ang pagtitignan ko po lahat ng issue, I can sum up the issue.
Here to look for solutions.
Yes, Madam Chair, minsan po kailangan naming mag-recalibrate ng aming mga technical specifications. Kasi yung available sa market, halimbawa, hindi naman natatarget doon sa tech specs namin. So nagkakaroon kami ng mga adjustments. Meron ding mga kailangan din naming mag-adjust ng mga quantities ng mga pinoprocure namin na LTE kasi nagkakaroon ng minsan tumataas yung cost ng mga LTE.
With your permission, Madam Chair, if I may supplement the answer given by our Undersecretary. Ito po kasing yung learning packages, there's so many different kinds ho. So may baking package ho for those who taking baking courses TVET. Meron din po yung bartending. So one package is an amalgam or a combination of several items. So it could be glasses, mixers, etc. So medyo mahirap din talaga i-combine ho. So I don't think there are that many takers sa field ho. And but really we are exerting efforts to improve our procurement and speed things up, Your Honor. Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Seeing as I've had my time is up, I'll be concluding my interpellation. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Madam Chair. And we would like to express our support, and we support this sunny and bright future of the DepEd. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Salamat po, Kong Gutierrez.
Thank you, Representative Gutierrez. Next to interpellate is Deputy Majority Leader Lawrence Defensor.
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of Region 6 and all the Ilonggos, I would like to congratulate Secretary Angara for his appointment. Wala nang mas masaya pa ditong kayo ang na-appoint kesa sa akin. As with due courtesy and respect to the Secretary, may narinig po kaming may namana kayong education crisis, and we've been hearing about the results of PISA na pinatayo kamababa. As part of EDCOM, baka pwede niyo po kaming sabihin kung ano po ang EDCOM at ano po ang very important findings ng EDCOM 2 at para matulungan po kayo naming maresolba ang problema natin sa edukasyon.
Thank you. Salamat po sa kind words, Kong Lawrence Defensor, Deputy Majority Leader. Maraming salamat po. Marami pong salamat din sa Kongreso dahil kayo ay bahagi ng EDCOM. Yung Educational Commission, yun ay commission na ginawa at ay naging bahagi rin po ako. Sila Chairman Mark Go, Kong Khalid Dimaporo, Kong Roman, and now Secretary Benitez of TESDA, and Kong PJ Garcia on the part of the House. And it's been very helpful as a guide for reforms. Kasi kumukuha sila ng eksperto at masusi nilang pinag-aaralan yung mga sarit-samot mga problema ng ating bansa. And not just limited to the DepEd, Your Honor. Integrated yung approach nila. Tinitingnan nila yung CHED, yung TESDA, and how the whole system works together, Your Honor. That's why one of their recommendations was to create a cabinet cluster. Tulad ng nabanggit nila Kong Castro, nila Kong Manuel, na there is a teacher's mismatch, di ba? Hindi ba? Meaning, we have non-science teachers teaching science, etc. It's because we don't produce the right supply. Yung supply po, nasa CHED po yun. They were the ones who provide scholarships for graduates. So we need more science teachers. But how do we incentivize them? It's not within the power of DepEd to give these scholarships. So that's one of the examples of the many problems. Yung problema po ng guidance counselors, EDCOM pointed that out also. But as a whole, siguro I'm going to specific, but as a general proposition, EDCOM has pointed out that the learning loss is so severe that yung natapos po ng grade 12, ang kaparehas lang niya sa ibang bansa ay grade 5 o grade 6 in terms of skills. Ganun po kalala ang learning loss sa ating bansa. And it was made worse by the pandemic dahil magandang ating intensyon, nagpumasok ho tayo sa synchronous and asynchronous learning, sa blended learning, sa hybrid learning. Ngunit hindi magandang resulta after assessing our students, Your Honor. Kaya marami pong rekomendasyon ang ating EDCOM, and we're very grateful to them, and we rely on them going forward, Your Honor. Pero nabanggit ni Kong Zamora yung miseducation report. Napakadaming rekomendasyon dyan, some of which we have already adopted. In fact, since we graduated from the TVET strand of senior high school in 2016, this year will be the first year that there are funds to assess our TVET high school graduates. Ibig sabihin, nag-graduate ho tayo sa TVET ng senior high school, pero walang certification kung NC1 sila, kung NC2 sila. So, hindi sila na-hire ng industriya. They have to pay for their own certification and assessment. So 2024 is the first year that is in the budget of TESDA, Your Honor. So hopefully that will improve their chances of getting hired dahil yun ang pangako natin sa mga magulang, sa mga pamilya na baka hindi na kailangan magkolehiyo dahil yun ay out of reach for many of our families, Your Honor. These are just some of the samples of the problems, Your Honor, but there are so many actually.
Thank you, Secretary. Madam Chair, may I request for the Undersecretary for the implementation of school-based feeding program? Sino po sa mga USEC natin?
Is ASEC Dexter Galban, if he may be allowed to take his seat and answer questions with your permission, Madam Chair.
You're recognized, ASEC Galban.
ASEC Galvan, can I confirm na ang school-based feeding program natin ay 11.71 billion? Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, malaki po ang nakikita kong kaugnayan tungkol sa learning and school-based nutrition. Mahirap pong matuto ang mga estudyanteng bata kapag sila ay gutom. And in support of the Secretary's budget for the Department of Education, I would like to request the Committee on Appropriations to increase our budget for school-based feeding program para po sa ating mga bata. And second, Madam Chair, may I know who is the Undersecretary in charge for coordinating with TESDA as well as CHED? There is a recommendation that there be a permanent coordinating body for DepEd, for CHED, as well as TESDA para mas may ugnay po natin ang learning program, hindi lang sa basic education, but also higher education and TechVoc. Ano po ang status para matulungan po namin si Secretary at maiangat po ni Secretary Angara ang permanent body na ito para magtulungan ang mga ahensya ng gobyerno on education?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Your Honor, Madam Chair. That is part of the proposal to create a cabinet cluster. That's one of the EDCOM proposals. But for now, we have the Teacher Education Council, which seeks to integrate some of the policies across the 3 agencies. And the point person is Yusek Willie Cabral for the HROD, or Human Relations Organizational Development strand of DepEd.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Cabral,
Secretary.
you're recognized.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Your Honors. We are currently organizing the Teacher Education Council, and the work of the TEC is actually to establish relationship collaboration with CHED, TESDA, and with respect to the embedment of and training of our senior high school teachers, particularly on the trainer's methodology program, so that our senior high school students could be given that appropriate training to teach our senior high school acquire those competencies needed for a particular track. The ongoing collaboration of the TEC with TESDA is becoming robust.
Thank
Madam
you, Chair. Madam Chair, lastly, I'm not here just to support the budget of Secretary Angara, but I'm here to ask that we not only support the budget of Secretary Angara and the Department of Education, but the education crisis starts with us in funding the education for Filipino children. So I'm here not only to support the good Secretary, but to support and request that we increase the budget for the Department of Education for fiscal year 2025. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Representative Defensor. Next to ask question is from the minority. The chair now recognizes Representative Arlene Brosas. If she's not around, the chair now recognizes Representative Raul Manuel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning sa Committee on Appropriations tsaka sa mga officials po ng DepEd through the leadership of Senator and Secretary Sonny Angara. Good morning po. Gusto ko lang pong i-highlight yung isa sa mga na bring forth po kanina na finding na ang dating DepEd Secretary po as Vice President, meron siyang children's book project. Tapos ang kanyang tinapa para gumawa ng illustrations para dun sa children's book ay yung mga employees pa na under sa Department of Education. Parang hindi po ito ang first time na pinaghahalo po niya ang dalawang ahensya under her leadership. Tapos ngayon pa nga ay merong ganitong additional example. So hindi dapat ito i-take note lightly ng komite na ito, lalo na't nanghihingi pa nga ng additional budget para dun sa children's book na iyon, given na may ganitong hindi magandang history pala ang ganong proyekto, Madam Chair. So to proceed dun sa ilang mga points ko on the Department of Education, Madam Chair, na-mention din kasi kanina yung matatag curriculum, and even Congressman Rufus Rodriguez mentioned na may mga subjects talaga na hindi pwedeng pinaghalo-halo. Kasi po, Madam Chair, ang gusto nga po ni Kong Rufus yung PE dapat talaga hiwalay. Pero ngayon nga, at least yung naabutan ko, Madam Chair, yung PE kasama siya dun sa MAPE na Music, Arts, PE, and Health. Pero ngayon po sa matatag curriculum, pati po yung MAPE at yung Araling Panlipunan, minerge pa. So, paano na lang po yung pagtuturo ng bawat specific subject? And I think mula naman sa interpellation ni Kong Franz, meron namang ways moving forward yung DepEd. Sana lang po talaga ma-incorporate yung ganitong mga observations kasi nga ang hirap na ma-ensure yung quality ng pagkaturo sa bawat subject kung parang blob sila na naghahalo-halo. Also, ito Madam Chair, on peace education. So, any official of DepEd po can answer. Gusto lang po nating malaman ano po ang objectives at ano po yung meat ng peace education na tinuturo ng department.
Salamat. Magandang umaga po, Congressman Manuel. Unahin na po natin yung PISA. yung intention natin dito is, if I'm not mistaken, sa pagkaintindi ko yung PISA is to enhance a learner's critical skills as well as his ability to be analytical and to approach a problem from several aspects, meaning one question can challenge his reading, his math, and his science capabilities. Parang real life situation. Hindi naman nakakahon sa math, sa science when you face a problem in real life. So that is my understanding of the OECD exam PISA. So what we're doing is we're trying to have our education also try to be multidimensional in that sense, Your Honor, para matugunan niya yung mga ganong klaseng exams. Dahil parang and also it seems that there is a focus on certain types of awareness, meaning environmental awareness and other problems, climate change, among others. So I think it's also crucial to enhance that in our learners. Tapos also, yung mababa nating performance dahil karamihan sa mga bata natin hindi marunong gumamit ng computer. I was told, yung mga kumuha ng 2022, first time nilang humawak ng mouse, computer mouse, kaya medyo nataranta sila. So what we want is this early, we will get as many of them with access and practice on computers to actually take the test on computers. And there's also the problem of language. Dahil some take the test in their native language, pero there is no PISA test in Filipino as of yet, if I'm not mistaken, Your Honor. So English ho siya. So these are some of the PISA aspects and the demands on our learners. Doon naman ho sa pagsasama ho ng mga subject, yung thinking ho kasi dito is sana ma-decongest or ma-declutter yung ating curriculum so we can focus on yung tinatawag na foundational skills na literacy and numeracy, reading, writing, math. So that's why kaya pinagsama ho yung ibang mga subject. Pero tama ho kayo na yung isa sa mga pinakamahalagang tinuturo sa ating curriculum ay yung kasaysayan. Kaya sisiguraduhin natin na hindi mawawala yan at kung may suggestion po kayo na i-enhance yung ating curriculum at all levels from kinder even up to senior high school, this would be most welcome, Your Honor.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Chair. Doon po sa matatag curriculum din, lalo under the former leadership of DepEd, doon po na-introduce kasi yung parang special siya na topic, yung peace education, yung paano daw tinuturo yung maging promoters no, ng pagkakasundo, yun, kapayapaan yung ating mga estudyante. So sa ngayon po ba sumusulong na itong pagtuturo ng peace education? Tapos ano po ang nilalaman ng ganong topic?
Yes, Your Honor, Madam Chair. The peace education is incorporated in certain learning areas in Araling Panlipunan, in good manners and right conduct, as well as values education. But maybe with your permission, I'll ask Yusek Gina Gonong to expound.
Thank you, Sec. Madam Chair, yung peace education po ay naka-integrate sa ating mga learning areas. Kasama po dito halimbawa sa early grades yung self-awareness, yung building a community. Pagdating naman po sa mga higher grade levels, ang ini-integrate po natin na peace ed concepts dyan, yung security, disaster risk reduction, yan po ang mga kasama sa peace education.
Okay.